Chapter 18. Where flower petals get disturbed. What is inner intent violence? Bhavhimsa. The violence that you commit against yourself, such as anger, pride, deceit, and greed, binds your own self. Therefore, first have compassion for yourself. First, practice non-violent intent towards your own self, and then extend it to others. Dada Bhagwan. Dada Bhagwan, the enlightened being, explains that the path of vitrag, those free from attachment, is the path of profit and loss. Then, a seeker, aspirant, says to Dadaji, "It is said, where flower petals get disturbed, that there is a breach command of God. Please explain this." Dada Bhagwan explains, "This is what Srimad Rachandra said. It was said by the Tirthankaras. Srimad Rachandra wrote down the words of the Tirthankaras. But for whom? For those who have reached such a state that they no longer desire anything from the world. But you still want to wear a well-pressed suit, right? People in the world want everything. That is why it is said, offer flowers on the head of God. Therefore, when they go for idol worship, they offer flowers to the idol." In this explanation, the Dadaji highlights that the teachings about not offering flowers and worshipping idols are meant for those who are spiritually advanced to the point where they no longer seek worldly desires. For ordinary people who still have material desires, offering flowers becomes an expression of devotion, but it is not the highest form of worship. The focus is on understanding the spiritual significance behind such rituals, especially for those who are detached from worldly needs. The Lord instructed the monks to engage in Bhava Puja, worship through intent, and householders should perform both Bhava Puja and Dravya Puja, worship with material offerings. By practicing Dravya Puja, all worldly obstacles are removed. Therefore, we say that those who are facing worldly obstacles should offer flowers to a Gnani Purush, enlightened soul. But those who have no obstacles do not necessarily need to do so. Not everyone's life is the same. Many people face all sorts of difficulties, but when they engage in such acts of devotion, these obstacles are cleared. The Gnani is not affected by such obstacles. Dadaji says, "Some people ask me, isn't it true that Lord Mahavir gave the instruction, wherever flower petals get disturbed, breach of command of the God is there, isn't it? That is what the Lord has said." To which I replied, "This is a matter for the next level. You are currently in your second year of your spiritual college, and this is part of the third year syllabus. Think about it when you reach your final year. It was his last birth for Lord Mahavir. He was married and lived a householder life for 30 years. He even had a daughter. This means that for 30 years, Lord Mahavir was a parigrihi, one who possesses material attachments. But despite his material attachment in that birth, he still attained liberation, moksha, in the same birth. This is a very high teaching, and one needs to understand that even when worldly attachments exist, spiritual liberation is possible. Therefore, flowers should be offered on idols of deities and also on the idols of our Tirthankaras. In this way, the petals of flowers are not wasted. Now, look at how in material life, couples often get entangled in kashais, anger, pride, deceit, attachment, greed, hatred, and waste their lives. However, a person who has reached the highest level of non-violence, even if they pass by a sleeping dog, they take so much care that that dog should not wake up. This is the level of pure non-violence. So, what obstacle do flower petals create? Once the last 15 years of one's journey towards liberation, moksha, are left, that is when these worldly practices should cease. Once they leave life as a householder, everything naturally falls away. Until then, one should not interfere in worldly rituals. The experiential spiritual aphorism. The infinite bliss of the self, which is covered by violence, that is, the clouds of violence have darkened it, and the infinite bliss of the self is engulfed in this darkness. To manifest this self-bliss, the need for non-violence arises, and that too should be of the kind of non-violence spoken by Lord Mahavir. Gnani Purush Kanu Dadaji.